Hi guys. So we'll start first with just a basic yoga class. If you need props, make sure to grab them. Remember that as we move along, I want you to modify in the way that fits your body best. Remembering again that yoga isn't about making the body fit the pose as much as it is making the pose fit the body. So we all have different shapes of anatomy. Make sure that you take your time, link your breath to movement, listen to my cues, and again, be kind with yourself. So we're actually going to start today lying down on our mats. So go ahead and find a position that's most comfortable to you. And I'll lie down with you and talk you through this. So I want you to go ahead and extend the legs. And turn the hands palms up by the sides. And take a moment before we begin anything. And notice how your body feels on the floor. So the difference is shoulder to shoulder and hip to hip. Which one is more heavy on the floor and which one is lifted? Take a moment to notice the legs. Relax them fully. Do the legs roll out to the sides? Do the toes point up toward the floor, toward the ceiling, showing that the front line of the body is tight? Or are the toes pulled long and away, showing that the back line of the body is tight? So just taking note of these things, not changing, just becoming aware of our place and space and how we feel at the beginning of our practice. And then bring your attention to your breath. Notice where the breath goes. Notice where the breath feels caught. So inhale and lengthen your breath for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then pause and exhale, exhale, and let it all go for 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. And then do it again, moving through this easy inhale and exhale. Noticing where the body's holding tension. And seeing if you can relax and let it go. Take a moment to notice where your mind goes. And bring it back to your breath. We're going to go through that cycle 1 or 2 more times. Feeling how the body can relax more heavily and how the mind becomes more quiet. And on the next inhale, slowly roll the shoulder heads under. Squeeze the glutes, feel the backs of the thighs lift up off the floor. Inhale, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, slowly let it all go. Allow the body to sink a little deeper, and the mind to become a little quieter. Relax the jaw, soften the throat, let the teeth open. And on the next breath, slowly walk your feet in under your hips. Reach behind your thighs and draw your knees towards your heart. So bring the lower back next toward the floor. Go ahead and make some circles. Take a moment to notice how much of your back is touching the floor. If any areas feel tension or tenderness. And how big that circle is or isn't. And then I want you to go ahead and circle in the opposite direction because the body always picks the path of least resistance first. So notice how that changes. Again, notice how your balance feels. How much of your back is touching the floor? And if any areas feel tender. And then go ahead and draw your knees in towards your heart. Take your heels up toward the sky. Keep your hands behind the thighs and see if you can soften the legs. Go ahead and circle the ankles. Snaps, cracks, and pops are all okay. What I want you to notice is, how does that joint move? Where does it feel like it's caught? And go ahead and circle in the opposite direction. So remembering that we're attached all the way from the bottom of our feet to our forehead, that as we circle and unwind, we're unwinding that entire line. And go ahead and flex your heels toward the sky. Notice how that feels in the back line of the body. And then point the toes. Take a moment to note which one had more tension. And then alternate between the two, moving in and out of that line of tension, allowing the body the opportunity to soften and release. And then we're all going to point our toes toward the ceiling. I want you to open your toes. Spread them as wide as you can, and then squeeze them tightly shut. Do that again, opening the toes and squeezing them shut. One more time. Perfect. And then inhale and flex the heels, straighten the legs. Exhale, point your toes, bend your knees, and lift your bottom up off the floor. So inhale, lengthening through that long line, and then exhale and draw everything in and together. We're going to do that 2 more times. So moving with your own breath in your own time. Remembering that there's no expectations, no competition, no judgment. Just simply moving in our own time with our own breath. Good. And then I want you to let your feet fall to the floor. Turn your hands, palms up by your sides. Roll your shoulder heads back, and then as you inhale, press into your feet and lift the hips toward the sky. As you exhale, slowly lower. So continue with this, again, moving with your breath in your own time. Take a moment to notice, am I pushing through one foot more than the other, or squeezing one glute a little harder, and then see if I can bring my intention in to even that out, to move through both sides more evenly. And then this time we're going to lift and hold, because we're going to add our upper body. So as you exhale and lower, bring the arms above the head. Let the backs of the hands reach the floor. Arch through that low back, and then inhale, push through the feet and draw the hands back through the sky, pushing through the palms, lift the hips a little higher. So again, moving in your own time with your own breath. We're starting to stretch out and open the rib cage. Stretch and open those intercostal muscles that allow us to take a deeper breath in. We're also aligning the diaphragms in the body. So the respiratory diaphragm and the pelvic diaphragm, we're enabling the body to move fluid through. So again, remember, linking breath and movement. And taking a moment to notice that each time we move through this, the body opens a little more. That those pathways become a little less occluded. We're going to move through this one more time in each direction, creating space and length. Then we're all going to stay here. I want you to press your low back down toward the floor and cradle the head in the hands. We're going to lift our head, neck, and shoulders 1 inch from the floor. So this becomes our new floor. From here, exhale and lift a little higher, and then inhale and move back to your new floor. So exhale as we lift, and inhale as we lower. So we're just starting to create a little bit of heat and fire in the inside of our body. So we can continue with this easy lifting and lowering. We can add a small twist, drawing the shoulder through the midline of the body. We can alternate a knee in. That feels best for you. Or maybe even a slow bicycle. So again, remembering, there's no competition, no judgment, no expectation. I'm simply finding the way that my body's craving to move most. And then in finding that ease of motion and ease of breath, that the body's allowed to open and unwind, using that heat internally created to move a little further. So I want you to do this a few more times, and then when you're ready, you're going to draw your knees towards your chest, lower down to the mat, and let out a big sigh. So that deep sigh just said to my body what the word pickle does to my mouth. When I say pickle, I begin to salivate. When I sigh, my body knows it's time to rest. And that deep sigh could come in handy today. And then just a little rock side to side until you rock all the way to one side. And it doesn't matter which side that is. We're going to take a moment there just to equalize blood pressure. And then slowly push up onto all fours. And bring our hands under our shoulders and our knees under our hips as we move through our spine. So inhale, articulate through the spine and draw the heart center forward. Exhale, tuck the sacrum under, move through the spine. Draw the chin to the chest, the forehead to the pubic bone as we arch through the back. So inhale, lengthen, and draw our focus to the contraction of the back, the relaxation in the belly. And as we exhale, feel the contraction in the belly and the relaxation through the spine. And we're going to continue with this. So you can move through this simple motion, flexing and extending through the spine. Or you can start to move through more of those oblique fibers if you'd like. So pulling up into the right side of the body, drawing into the belly, and then releasing through the left. Moving with digestion, so drawing up, contracting, and relaxing. And you can let the head move as it would organically with the body. So first, noticing how that feels. Stirring up and giving our internal organs a bit of a hug. And then go ahead and move in the opposite direction, so into the left, pull into the belly, and relax through the right. We're going to move through this a few more times, allowing the internal body to release and rewind. Perfect. And let's move through that one more time. And then come back into that neutral spine. I want you to exhale and look over your right shoulder. Inhale, come back to center, and then exhale, look over your left shoulder. So let's make this a little deeper. Maybe drawing shoulder toward hip. And coming back to center to release, and opposite shoulder to hip. Or maybe even taking it deeper still. Maybe drawing shoulder toward ankle. Again, just releasing through the side of the body. And then come back to center. Go ahead and push all the way back into child's pose. So we're going to take a moment here. You can come all the way to the mat or use your fists under your forehead. I want you to pick the position that fits your body best today. You can keep the knees under your body or open your knees wide. Again, choosing the position that fits you best. See, when we come to child's pose, we're letting it all go, all our worldly cares and concerns, everything outside of this space, giving ourselves the opportunity to rewind and reset, our nervous system a chance to relax. An opportunity to take care of our bodies, to listen to ourselves, to take care of what our body needs. So if at any point during this practice we need to take that opportunity to take care of ourselves or take care of our bodies, We don't need permission to find our way back into this place. In fact, as long as we are breathing, we are doing yoga. So before you become too comfortable, let's draw our knees back under our body and walk our fingertips forward to the long edge of the mat. I want you to energize, open the armpits wide and lift the elbows and spread the fingers. And we're going to flow through, called a vinyasa. So we're going to inhale and come forward into plank pose. And then exhale, and we're going to pull from the belly, hug everything in, and move back into child's pose. So we're going to inhale forward into plank. And then exhale, pull all the way back into child's pose. We're going to do this a few more times. So we're just starting to create some heat and motion in the body, warming up through the shoulders and the rib cage. And when you're ready, you can start to stagger in or add a crocodile. So a small chaturanga, pushing up and back. And maybe you'd like to take that a little deeper. And maybe today, as you come into chaturanga, you'd like to push the feet into the mat and lift the knees. But again, remember, there is no competition, no judgment, no expectations. There is no advanced pose. There is simply the pose that you are in today. So we're always listening to our bodies, moving within our own range of motion. We're going to do this a few more times. Starting to feel the heat building up. And then we're ready, we can find our way all the way back into downward dog. So curling the toes under and pushing the heels back. I want you to say good morning to your hamstrings. So good morning, hamstrings. Go ahead and pedal through the heels. So we call this walking the dog. Starting to open through that long back line of the body. Noticing where the body's holding tension. Perfect. And then I want you to push your heels back toward the mat. Lift your heels toward the sky. Soften your knees a lot. Gaze at the space between your hands and walk, step, or hop into that. Let the head, neck, and shoulders hang heavy. Perfect. So if our hands don't reach the floor in this position, with the rib cage resting on the thighs and the knees slightly bent, you can reach up and clasp the creases of your elbows. But here we're going to take a moment to shake our head no. And then nod our head yes, because we always end on the positive, and then see if we can relax the head, neck, and shoulders just a little more. Perfect. And then bend the knees even more. Place the hands in the shins. Inhale, take a deep breath and slowly rise. Exhale and bring the hands to your heart. And take a moment here. Let the hands fall down by the sides and go ahead and close your eyes. I want you to rock through all four corners of the feet. Press the heels down to the mat. The mound of the big toe, the outside of the baby toe. And lift your toes up, spread them wide and glue them back down. I want you to feel as though your head is being pulled toward the sky. Just for this brief moment, we are the bridge between heaven and earth. So take a moment to send yourself loving kindness. And to take note of any parts of your body that you may be taking care of today. So it could be a knee, a hip, a back, a head, a heart. And take a moment to place your right hand there. Sending yourself loving kindness and reminding yourself to modify your practice where you need to as we move through today. And then notice the breath. Place the hands back down by your sides. We're going to start moving through our sun salutations. So coming to the top of your mat, I want you to inhale and take a deep breath in. Lace your fingers, soften your knees, and lift your heart. And then exhale and swan dive down toward the earth. Take your time. You don't have to be in a hurry. Perfect. And then inhale and move into monkey pose. So you can place your hands in your thighs, your shins, or your toes. Flattening the back, lengthening the spine. And then exhale and bow down. So bowing into yourself. Perfect. And then inhale, take a step back with the left leg. Drop the knee down toward the floor. And we're just going to stay here for a moment, this long lunge. So a small rock forward and back, maybe even a little toggle side to side. See if you can sink a little deeper. Feel an opening in the front of your left thigh. Perfect. And then exhale and step back into downward dog. So lift your knee, step your foot back and shift your hips high. Inhale, come forward into plank. And drop the knees down toward the floor. Exhale, lower into crocodile and pause for just a moment. And then inhale, let the heart come all the way down and pull the heart forward into cobra. Exhale, curl the toes under, draw the belly in and move back to downward dog. Inhale and take your left leg high. Step all the way to the top of your mat. So if your foot stops halfway, reach behind and drop forward to drop your right knee. And so again, that little forward and back, and note the differences side to side. So we're not trying to force or change, but simply noticing what's there. And one side will be tighter than the other. Then exhale and step in, forward fold. Inhale and slowly rise. Circle sweep your arms up toward the sky. And then exhale and sit all the way back into chair pose. Draw your hands toward your heart. So we're going to do that again. We're going to inhale and rise, lace the fingers, and lift the heart toward the sky. We're going to exhale and swan dive toward the earth. Again, taking our time. We're going to inhale and lengthen, move into monkey pose, flatten the back, elongate the spine. And then exhale and bow. Inhale and step back with the right leg. So again, drop the knee down toward the floor. Bring the hands toward the heart. And this time, open your heart wide. Perfect. And then reach your hands toward the sky. Exhale and step all the way back, downward dog. Inhale like a wave, move into plank and drop the knees. And then exhale and slowly lower. Find crocodile chaturanga. And then inhale, cobra. And then exhale, pull from the belly, curl the toes under, downward dog. Inhale, take the right leg high and step through. Drop the knee toward the floor, hands toward the heart. So again, open the heart wide. And then reach the hands toward the sky. Exhale and move into forward fold. Inhale and rise. And then exhale, chair pose. Open the arms wide. Perfect. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, take a deep breath in. Exhale, swan dive toward the earth. Inhale, lengthen monkey pose. And exhale and bow. Inhale, left leg back, and you can drop the knee if you like, or keep the knee lifted. Hands to the heart, or open the heart wide, or reach to the sky. Ready to receive. And then exhale, step back, downward dog. Inhale like a wave, move into plank, drop the knees if you need to. Exhale, lower into crocodile. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, Downward dog. Inhale, take the left leg high and step through. Ground the feet into the earth. Draw through Mula Bandha and rise. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale and rise. And exhale and chair pose. So I want you to move through this flow 2 more times. Move in your own time with your own breath. And remember, there is no right, there is no wrong. It's simply moving in the way that your body craves most today. So we often say simply making this a moving meditation, listening to what your body needs, going a little more slowly where you need to, and moving a little more quickly where you don't. Paying attention to what your body needs in this place, in this space. And linking breath and movement to find your own deepest appreciation, whatever that looks like today. So the gift of yoga is allowing yourself the opportunity to be in this space, in this place, on this mat. It's the gift of time, the opportunity to listen to our bodies, to check in. How am I feeling? Where do I feel tight? Where could I feel tighter? And paying attention to how I feel today. Listening to my body. Moving within my range of motion. Giving myself the gift of time. Perfect. Take a moment here before we move on to recenter, re-engage, to re-establish that connection, to notice my breath, to notice my steadiness. Take note of how my body is feeling. We're going to continue to move through this practice. So open the eyes. Inhale, take a deep breath up. Exhale, and bring your hands to your heart. And slowly forward fold all the way to the mat. Take a moment here to notice the difference from beginning till now. The length in the spine, soften the knees. So the goal of forward fold is elongation of the spine, decompression of the spine. So softening the knees, the hamstrings are just a bonus. Take a moment to notice how long can I make my spine. And then move into monkey pose. So place your hands on your thighs, your shins, or your toes. And from here we're going to move to airplane. So reach the fingertips back and down as though we're squeezing our shoulder blades in and together. Eye gaze comes slightly forward. And spine is long. So we should feel the strength in our back from here to here, engaging that small portion of our lumbar spine. And then drawing the erectors, so the muscles that go along the spine, back and down to create stability for the shoulders. And then exhale and slowly bow. Perfect. Take a big step back with the left leg. Good. We're going to drop that left heel down toward the floor. Open up your right foot just a little bit more toward the right hand. And then we're going to spiral the hands out to move into warrior two. So left arm and right arm, warrior two. And then take a minute to reposition your feet if you need to. We want to make sure that we're lined up in the center of our bodies. So we're not leaning into the future or sitting back here in the past, but we're right here in this very present moment. And then take a moment to gaze over that front hand. Look down your ring middle finger and turn the hand palm up. Good. See if you can sink a little deeper. So pressing all four corners of the feet down toward the floor. We're going to move into reverse warrior. We're going to take that palm up toward the sky and reach that bottom hand down toward the floor. Keep sinking down toward the mat. So we're opening up through the rib cage. Drawing the eye gaze up, opening up through the front, the heart, the throat. And then we're going to spiral into triangle pose. So we're going to come back into warrior two, shift the hips back, keep going, and move into triangle pose. So we're reaching the finger up toward the sky, toes down toward the earth. And you can gaze up or straight ahead or down, picking the position that fits you best today. Feeling a deep stretch on the inside of the right inner thigh. Perfect. One more breath here. And then exhale, spiral the hand down toward the earth and step back, downward dog. Come forward into plank, lower into crocodile, up dog or cobra. And then exhale, downward dog. So pull from the belly, curl the toes under, and push back. Perfect. So we're going to do the other side. Inhale and take the left heel toward the sky and step to the top of your mat. Perfect. A little rock forward and back, maybe opening that left foot more toward the long edge of your mat. Drop your right heel down. Again, spiral the right hand up and then the left. Warrior two. Reposition the legs if you need to. So again, drawing that long line, sinking down toward the floor, opening up through the heart. Good. Really drawing back through that right leg, that right thigh. Gaze down through your left middle finger and then turn the palm high. Perfect. See if you can sink a little deeper. Breathe a little deeper. Uncurl the toes on the left foot. And then take your left hand toward the sky. Reverse warrior. Maybe reach that right hand down toward the floor. So really opening up that rib cage off the thigh, off the hip. Really drawing that right thigh down toward the floor. Perfect. One more big breath here. And bring the hands back to warrior two. Shift the hip back and cycle all the way down to the floor. Triangle pose.